Today we're going to talk all about downtown Edmonton. Hi, this is Melody Wilson, a local realtor here in the Edmonton area, and we're going to talk about downtown Edmonton. I get a lot of questions about our downtown and where should you live if you want to live downtown. Well, let me explain to you first how downtown in Edmonton works, because we are not like metro cities like Toronto and Vancouver. Even Calgary actually is bigger. So you might wonder, well, isn't Edmonton the capital city of Alberta? It absolutely is. Our downtown is nowhere near the sizes of those downtowns, and it's actually quite a bit smaller than Calgary's downtown. Now, why is it that small? I don't know. They are trying to revitalize the downtown area. However, you won't see a whole lot of nightlife unless there's an event or sporting event happening during the week. Usually the nightlife happens on the weekends. So that's not really a huge downtown environment. Downtown living is mostly condo living. So if you want to live downtown, that's the primary kind of housing situation in downtown Edmonton. Downtown Edmonton has the MacEwan University campus downtown. So if you're a student and you live there, or if you have a child going to that university, it's not far to be right there. The downtown has a good LRT system. So a lot of people don't tend to live downtown. They actually use transit to get downtown, or they pay hefty parking fees to be located downtown. Downtown we have the City Hall, we have a museum, the Alberta Museum, and we have an art gallery. We also have the Edmonton Public Library. So if you take a look at the downtown core, they have some pretty unique looking structures downtown, and Churchill Square is also a place where a lot of events happen. You see a lot of people downtown having lunch down there as well. On the weekends, you will find the Edmonton Farmers Market on 105th Street. So that's a great place to check out local venue, but there's also a lot of great local restaurants. So downtown Edmonton has a spot for all great food to have. Places such as Black Pearl are really amazing. There's also a list of other places that you can check out downtown Edmonton. There's a video up here that talks all about the restaurant called OEB, and that's a breakfast place. There's lots of cool downtown finds, and you'll find people trekking in from the suburbs like myself to come downtown to check out these local food spots. Edmonton is also known as Festival City, so you'll find a lot of the festivals happening downtown at the Churchill Square. You'll find Taste of Edmonton. We've had street performers there, we've had the Fringe. There's a lot of different variety of things that happen. For the arts community downtown Edmonton, there's also the Citadel, where there's theater, and there's the Winspear Center right across the street with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra playing from there, and a lot of other music venues. Downtown also has a lot of walking paths and is right at the cusp of the Edmonton River Valley, so you'll find a lot of people on their lunch hours checking out paths, going on runs, going on walks, and enjoying the views of the Edmonton River Valley. The Fairmont Hotel Macdonald is just one of those treasures that Edmonton really loves, and it is for a right reason. Beautiful architecture. It's an older building in Edmonton as well. So how do you live in downtown Edmonton? If you are planning to work there, or going to school, or want to have the access and live downtown, I want you to understand, again, it's not like living in downtown Vancouver, Toronto. The values of properties are different, and condos, because that's where you're mostly living in downtown, the values of condos continues to decline, and it's not necessarily the greatest investment. However, it is a lifestyle. So if that's your lifestyle and that is what you want, then that's a great place to be. You just have to understand that the downtown condo investment for long-term equity gain is definitely nowhere near what is normal for Vancouver and Toronto people coming in from condo living. So if you have a family and you don't want to live in a condo, where on earth would you live? Now there's some neighborhoods close to downtown that you want to stay away from. I'm going to talk about the ones that you're going to probably be in. Anything 10 to 15 minutes to downtown is going to be usually where people live. Now, some of those homes, most of those areas are actually quite expensive. The types of homes you're going to find are homes that are maybe even 100 years old, all the way till about 1970s. The areas across the river tend to be 1950s to 70s. The ones closer to downtown core are going to be even sometimes 100 years old. You got to be careful about the foundation. If it's a brick foundation, there's a lot of obviously issues when it comes to buying 100-year-old homes. When you're looking at neighborhoods close to living downtown Edmonton, you're going to want to also check out that Edmonton police crime map. You're going to make sure to check the neighborhoods that you're interested in, because there is crime, everywhere in Edmonton, but there is a lot of crime closer to downtown. It's easier to access. So make sure your family is safe. Check that out. Also, if you talk to a professional realtor like myself, I will be able to guide you through the best neighborhoods to live in terms of schools for you and your kids, and also the equity that you're going to get in the homes. There's different areas are going to be better value for your buck, and there's other areas that are going to be expensive, but guess what? You're going to retain that equity, so it's worth spending that money. So neighborhoods such as Bonnie Doon and Forest Heights and Strathern, those are across the river on the one side. Those are really highly coveted neighborhoods, but they're very expensive to get into. They're great neighborhoods with tree-lined streets and very walkable to grocery stores and amenities, and close access to downtown. Also, when you're coming down that hill, you get to see the Muttart, which is our Muttart Conservatory, which has the three, I think it's 4 pyramids that have all the flowers and stuff in there. And it's also, again, close to the LRT line. If you go across the river on the other side, you're going to hit the university area. So areas such as Strathcona and Garneau, again, very expensive to live in. And those areas, you're going to find those older 100-year-old homes. Now, if you're living right down in the core of downtown, Riverdale and Cloverdale, those homes are beautiful. They're gorgeous homes, very expensive, but keep in mind, you're actually living in the floodplains of River Valley. So about 15, 20 years ago, we had some flooding in River Valley. The river went over and flooded into those neighborhoods. So you have to keep that in mind. Your insurance will probably accommodate for it. They know that that's a floodplains. So in terms of prices of homes, what are we looking at when we're talking about those homes across the river? Well, across the river, you're looking anywhere from probably on average $700,000 to $800,000. And that's just for an average size home of maybe about 1,200, 1,800 square feet. If you're looking for a home over 2,000 square feet and newer, you're gonna be looking upwards of $800,000 to over $1 million. You can buy a duplex, which is crazy because you're sharing a wall, in those neighborhoods, anywhere from $600,000 to $800,000. I know it seems crazy, but these are the new homes that are move-in ready. Of course, you can buy older homes that need renovation work, and those all vary from $400,000 to $600,000. I've seen a house that was just under $800,000 that was original owner that still needed full gut reno. Now, another option for you to live in close to downtown instead of across the river is go west. So if you go west and you're still on that same side, you're going to hit neighborhoods such as Glenora and Westmount, which obviously aren't very cheap either. These are more expensive areas. Glenora is known to be one of Edmonton's most expensive neighborhoods, so the average price point is quite a bit higher, and you're going to find multi-million-dollar homes in there, and even homes that are under $1 million that may not be checking every single box. If you go a little bit further west, you'll find neighborhoods such as Elmwood that you'll be able to afford, and Linwood. Those are much more affordable, and those price points sit you in around anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000, depending on if it's renovated, if it has a basement. Yes, some of these homes in Edmonton don't have basements. They tend to be bungalows, and which means just one level. So those are the more affordable areas. Anything close to that River Valley, west of downtown, neighborhoods such as Laurier Heights, Parkview, and Crestwood, those are all going to be higher price point homes. They're very highly coveted and desirable neighborhoods, and they have really good schools. Those neighborhoods price point are similar to the ones across the river, which is also anywhere from the $700,000 million range. To get something really move-in ready, expectation-wise, you just want to make sure you set your expectations of what you're looking for. Those neighborhoods also have 2-story homes and split-level homes. And so, again, it varies on the size of home, how finished it is, if it's been newly renovated, gutted. You'll see infill homes, which are homes that were completely brand new construction in these old neighborhoods, or you'll see homes that were gutted and renovated. So same old structure foundation, but the inside's been totally updated. All these neighborhoods are all within 10 to 15 minute drive. Now keep in mind the traffic can kind of get crazy, so if you're driving, sometimes you might get stuck in traffic and it'll take you longer than 10-15 minutes, but these are all ways that people live in single family homes instead of downtown condo living, to be living downtown. If you want more information on Edmonton neighborhoods to live in, the best ones, make sure to check out this video next. And if you want more information about the cost of living, make sure to check out that video. Thanks so much for watching.